Okay, guys, I do want to take it a bit slow today, but there's a lot to discuss about for this year, and this has not been a very impactful and best year for me. It hasn't been the greatest year for me, but I will reflect on a lot of positives this year has had on us, or actually myself. I do want to get into something else recently that I was going to admit by just saying this that I actually wanted to stop doing Sonic videos for the time being because I was I was very quiet on YouTube, and I had to distance myself with real life and personal lifestyle, that I needed to have a bright future and I wanted to focus on something else other than this. And I do want to say that you guys are some of the most supportive fans on this channel. And I do want to address that it may be a long video or not, but I do want to keep my promise of when the video is done. So this year has not been a really great year for me, and I do want to start off by saying that it wasn't the kind of year I would want to reflect on the most, but I do want to reflect on the year's Shadow, which was a very anticipating and event, and I would say it was a very positive highlight this year had on me. And nowadays I've been mostly busy in real life, and I had mostly been going to beaches. I was making a lot of adventures over time, and I do want to say and I don't want to come off, rude to some people, but I think people need to understand that I need to tell you this. So people got to respect my own personal space. I honestly have a life to live, and I am mostly been focusing on other topics. And I'm still a Sonic fan. I've been mostly branching out on other franchises. I do other franchises other than Sonic, but I think it's okay. I'm still a Sonic fan. I will always do Sonic videos, even on this channel. But I have mostly stopped making fan films. Now, there's a good reason for that, and I do want to keep on informing you guys that I did not want to risk losing my channel over DMCA. And DMCA is one of the most personal and challenging experiences as a YouTuber. And I tried to make another fan film, but I didn't want to lose my channel over that. So I decided, that was the only chance there is. I have mostly been doing Wattpad, and I haven't even done anything on Wattpad this year, and it was not a very impactful year for me on Wattpad because I was running low on ideas, and I could go on to say that I've been mostly having writer's block for the past 18 months, and I deserved a well-deserved break. And I was very proud of myself for taking that break. And for me, I thought this was the best choice to do, because I simply have to admit, because I think what I'm going to tell you is that my birthday is coming up, and I'm turning 22 years old, and I am an adult like most people are on social media, and I've been growing up at last. And I do want to say that I am so glad that I was able to provide and give out an update to a lot of people who care and put faith in me, even though I was going through some of the most hardest times ever, because I have been mostly dealing with real life topics. I was mostly growing away from social media this entire year. Even though I still branch out to make other videos, cinematic clips, renders, all of that. What really stuck out to me is that I had other interests, a lot of other interests, and I think that's okay, because for me personally, I love Sonic. I will always love Mario. I will always love other franchises, but I've got other franchises to stick around with, and I have mostly didn't want to go. I didn't come on YouTube to be famous. I didn't want to attach fame into it, and wanted to pursue other paths. And I'm an underground YouTuber. I didn't branch out to be famous. And last year's video, the Sonic EXE video, was the one video that attached a fame to me because it had 90K views, even though it didn't have million of views, but it was still a pretty big video with a lot of following. I mean, it doesn't have any, barely has any more comments, but it's okay. But for me personally, I chose my own experiences. I'm very choosy of what I decide to do on social media or in real life, because even after I had a new PC this last week at the end of November, I was still pretty much bored and wasn't impressed with the way things were turning out, and I was still not impressed with my previous work. Like a couple of years ago, I had mostly done previous work. I used to do fan films back then. Excuse me. So this year was not also great because drama, and it has probably caused a negative influence on me, and it has probably caused more significant harm to my YouTube career and my hobby. And I think it wasn't really bright. I tried to at least stay away from drama, but somehow I didn't have a really good year, and I had tried to follow into the footsteps, but I can't mention any names because it would be very negative if I told any and provided any names. But all I have to say is that I'm still glad that I didn't want to put negative influence on you guys. I just wanted the guys to know that I want to move on with my life and still continue to do much videos, even though it's not going to be a lot. And I'm growing up, I'm maturing, and I'm turning 22. So that is a positive highlight. But this negative highlight was too much for me to handle within the Sonic community. That's why I tried at least my best to stay away from the Sonic community, because it wasn't really welcoming. It wasn't really worth the chance to stay in some of the most popular and biggest communities there is. I'm still active in some because we have like great friends, but I have been blackballed for a while, and I was about to say I got blackballed recently, and that was 2 months ago, and that is why I hardly made any other videos and made other appearances with other people, because I was being told a lesson. And I don't think it was a lesson. All I was trying to do was my job. And I feel like I was making a mistake because I was too heavily reliant on it. And I had met some of the most shadiest people. Like, I've met very shady people, and they were so negative. They were so toxic. And I don't want to mention any names still, but I do want to say that no one's a true friend if they can't watch out for the support and the creative energy someone else has in their own minds. Like, I tried my best. Imagine if you were going to promote your work and then suddenly it gets trashed on. Like, even though I handle opinions, this was like a dirty move. That is why I stopped being in half the fandom, because for Sonic, of course, it's going to be like that, because I've met probably the worst people online, and they were giving me bad advice. They were giving me terrible advice, like very awful advice. Like, I think you guys really need to understand is that I have my own personal life to take care of, and I have my own sets of rules, and I think people are not understanding, and they're still not understanding that I came on YouTube not for fame, but for creations for my family, my friends, my real life friends, and all these acquaintances, all these people, for real people that they can enjoy and see what they think about my work, and not have to worry about what others say, because that is why I mostly disabled comments, because I was getting negative feedback for simply doing my work. And I tried at least I tried my best. Now I have to move on from it, and I wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching this video, but this has not been a very good year. But my birthday's coming up, and I have mostly stopped dwelling. I have mostly wanted to stay focused, and I've been pretty much dragged into probably the worst drama, and it wasn't my fault, but I could say it was their own. But that means some that I met who online were not very respectful and were very rude and arrogant and aggressive to my own energy and my dedicated craft. So that is why I'm done with the Sonic community. I'm actually done with half of the community because I've honestly have to admit I met very, very horrible people that should have been stopped, but it was too late. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to move on with my life and not have to worry about that. And I say, well, that's going to be how it is for the rest of the community. It's like every fandom online is going to be toxic through the internet, and there's a lot of toxic fandoms, a lot of forums. There are a lot of forums that are toxic, and I think it's been a problem for generations of internet users all around. But I don't have to focus on that anyway. I did say that as a human being myself, I just wanted to get away and wanted to work on my own. And honestly, it's fine because I tried to find a voice acting crew. I tried doing it and it didn't work out. Still met shady people. Again, that is why I couldn't work with voice actors, because they don't have the amount of patience, and they were acting very aggressive and rude. And that is why I worked on my own and used voice mod or whatever. I could take about anyone or whatever for granted. Or I could have used like subtitles without any dialogue audio. So, that's how it's going to be, right? Anyway, I am done with the video, and I do want to say thank you guys so much and have a safe and happy holidays. We'll see you next time. And honestly, before I go, I want you guys to understand this motivational speech. Please do not give up. Try to keep your head up and move on with your life and do what you do and what you love most. I do want to say thank you for supporting me, and with all these subscribers I had, even though I am very choosy and very picky over what I desire and choose to follow. Again, I wanted to say thank you, and thank you so much. All of you guys for subscribing to all of my channels on YouTube and giving out the best support there is. And I do want to say, there's another minute or so, but I do want to say, again, have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and thank you guys so much for watching. And I do want to improve my life skills and cope with change and see what the new year is going to be about. And I do want to say I'll resume my work probably by January, but from this point on, there will be no more videos made in public. So anyway, take care, you guys, and have a good day, and just peace. Bye.